So my favorite gaming moment of 2022, originally, it's not even from a game. It's just because like my favorite JRPG of all time was announced to be having a remaster, and I called it within a millisecond.
Yeah.
Well, that's Chrono Cross.
Oh!
I know that moon,
shit.
you son of a bitch. I knew it. But whenever the Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers was announced in the Nintendo Direct, that was one of my favorite moments because I saw that moon. I was like, I knew it. It's that. And that was very exciting for me. But I'm going to actually pick a moment from a game. And it's not just one moment. It's the feeling of many moments that happened repeatedly throughout a game. And it's not even that high on my top 5. Like, I think it might be in the top 5 of this year. But when I played Elden Ring, I'm not a big Soulsborne guy. Like, I tried Sekiro, and I hated every second of it. And then Elden Ring came out. Scotty would not shut up about it. And then he ended up letting me borrow it, and I tried it. And I liked it good enough to keep playing it. But one thing Elden Ring did right was, like, the open world. It was one of my favorite open worlds because there's just so much shit that's worth doing in it. It's not just stuff to do it. It means something. And one of those things is boss fights, of which there are an enormous, like, crazy amount. And to get through those bosses, you see that mist door. So anytime you're venturing through a cave or something, you're just like, okay, I think I'm almost to the treasure in this cave. And then, uh-oh, you see that green mist door, and you're filled with a sense of, like, dread, hype, and, like, scared, like, excitement to go see what the hell is on the other side of that. And that's probably my favorite feeling, is just like, oh my god, I can't do a boss fight right now. And then I'm like, well, maybe I can. And then actually getting to the boss and beating it, that's a whole other sense of accomplishment, especially if you do a one and done. Very rare for Elden Ring, but I had a few of them. But Elden Ring, seeing the boss door and just like turning pale white and then turning red with excitement and rage was one of my favorite feelings of 2022.
To me, the best moment of 2022 was really just like a conglomeration of smaller moments. Because in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the sense of wonder came back to me in Pokemon, and that's been gone for a little while. Mostly it's because they didn't reveal hardly any of the new Pokemon in the lead up to the release of the game. And, you know, you just walk around and you're just like, oh, there's a ball of yarn over there. Let me see what that thing looks like. Like, I already knew about Satitan. I didn't know about Satotl. So when I saw that, I was just like, oh, baby Satitan. And then, you know, you're climbing the mountain, you find this little raptor thing, and you're just like, oh, what is this? Oh, now there's a little guy that looks like sushi? What is this about? And I haven't had that feeling for a long time in Pokemon. But on top of the sense of wonder, there was also a sense of, like, difficulty. There were some tough fights in that gym. Or, like, some of the gyms I had to fight multiple times before I got it. Like, especially that Sudowoodo that turned into grass type was the bane of my existence. It took me like 5 tries to get through that because I just had to go find, like, catch new stuff. Like, I had to go catch a fire Pokemon because the party I had just was not cutting it. And in the last couple of Pokemon games, you could pretty much steamroll it with anything you wanted. And this time, like, type advantages, strategy, it all came back. And you really had to try to win some of those fights.
I had quite a few favorite moments from 2022. My favorite moment from Elden Ring would probably be the Breath of the Wild moment when it showed you this massive landscape you can explore and all that, and there's a big old guy with a horse and his spear. That was really cool. There's my favorite moment from any Pokemon game this year was probably similar to what Aaron said. It's just like, oh, open world Pokemon. They meant it. It's real. But my overall favorite came from my favorite game this year, which is God of War Ragnarok. This is heavy, heavy spoilers. So you've been warned, but my favorite moment was the one, it wasn't really a gameplay thing, it was a story thing, but more of a post-game story thing because it filled me with very conflicting emotions and quite a few of them. It was happy, sad, you could call that bittersweet, a little angry, there was a lot going on. It was Brock's funeral at the end of God of War Ragnarok in the post-game. Odin killing Brock was one of the biggest sucker punches of any game I can think of. A masterfully done plot twist out of nowhere. Tyr, this whole friggin' time, has been Odin. Stabbed Brock and just did his Odin thing and left. And that was horrifying. That was the worst. Brock was great, and now Brock is dead. Finally kill Odin, post-game now. You got Brock, you got his body, you gave him a Viking funeral, and his broken-hearted, defeated-looking brother Sindri shows up. He's not full of as much piss and vinegar as he was earlier, but there's still a lot of rage there, and just the funeral itself was bittersweet enough, but seeing Sindri like that was just heartbreaking. It was such a well done thing to do for the post game, and then it's playing this really beautiful sad music, and Sindri cooperates with Kratos enough to get Brock out on the ocean. Freya shoots a fire arrow and lights it ablaze. Full Viking funeral. It was great. Everybody paying their respects, except I didn't really love that Atreus wasn't there. I wish Atreus could have been there. And then Kratos goes to comfort Sindri. Sindri yanks his shoulder away, just glares at him for a minute, and disappears. And it was just so much going on emotionally, because Brock is awesome. Brock is a beloved God of War character, and to see him murdered like that in his brother's house, I guess his house too, I don't know, murdered in his own home by a betrayer, and then you get a sweet little funeral, but it's still really sad because of how Sindri is and the state he's in, understandably so. But it's just, you can't even console him. He's so full of rage, and he's already gotten his revenge. But like Kratos and them have always said, revenge doesn't necessarily bring the satisfaction you think it will, and I don't think it did for Sindri. I don't think it made anything worse, and God, Odin had to go. They were making a bad decision by not killing Odin. Let me be clear on that. Odin had to go. But Sindri came in, killed Odin, got his revenge, and he's still a complete mess. It's hard to see, hard to watch, but the acting, music, setting, everything about it, that's why it's my favorite moment of the year. It had everything that could make it great going for it.
Let me collect my things and I'll show you. You ain't got no things. And where are you going with that mask, Brock? That belongs to the kid. He earned it. All you done was make passable dirt soup.
Brock, it's okay.
No, it ain't. This ain't right. All the pieces ain't welding together true. Like, what's with him calling you Loki anyway?